My name is Ava. I was 24 years old when I answered that desperate newspaper ad. Live-in nanny needed for 2 young children in a quiet countryside estate. Good pay, room and board included. I had just lost my job at a small bookstore in the city. My savings were dwindling, and I needed a fresh start, far from the noise and heartbreak of my recent breakup. The estate was hours away by train, a sprawling old manor surrounded by rolling hills, wildflowers, and ancient oaks. It looked like something from a fairy tale, but when the taxi dropped me off at the iron gates, a chill ran through me. The house felt silent, almost watchful. The owner, Mr. Alexander Hale, Alex, as he later insisted, was a widower in his late 30s, tall with dark hair streaked by early gray and eyes that carried the weight of unspoken sorrow. He greeted me formally at the door, his voice low and measured. "Thank you for coming on such short notice, Miss Ava. The children, they need someone steady." Behind him stood his 2 children, Mia, a solemn 9-year-old girl with long braids, and her brother Noah, 7, who clung to her hand and barely looked up. They were beautiful, like porcelain dolls, but their eyes were empty, their smiles non-existent. Alex's wife, Victoria, had passed away 2 years earlier in a tragic car accident. The house still bore her presence, framed photos on every mantel, her favorite roses wilting in vases, rooms untouched as shrines. The staff had quit one by one, unable to bear the heaviness. Alex buried himself in his study, managing the family publishing business remotely, emerging only for meals that were eaten in silence. My duties were simple at first: care for the children, prepare light meals, keep the house tidy. But from day one, I sensed the deeper wounds. Mia and Noah spoke in whispers, if at all. They played alone in the vast garden, drawing pictures of stormy skies and lonely figures. At night, I heard Noah's quiet sobs through the thin walls. One rainy afternoon, while exploring the attic for extra linens, I stumbled upon a forgotten trunk. Inside were Victoria's things: handwritten letters to Alex, a leather-bound journal filled with her elegant script, pressed flowers, and faded photographs of happier times. Reading them felt like intruding, but I couldn't stop. Victoria wrote of her loneliness in the big house, how Alex's work consumed him even before the children came, how she longed for laughter and warmth. "I love him still," one entry read, "but this silence is suffocating us all." There were unsent letters pleading for more time together, confessions of feeling invisible. My heart ached for her, and for the family she left behind. I decided to bring light back, gently. I started with small things: baking cookies with the children, their flour-dusted hands tentative at first, then giggling as dough stuck to their fingers. We read adventure books in the sunlit library, voices growing louder with each chapter. I planted new roses in the garden, vibrant colors replacing the wilted ones. Mia began showing me her drawings, now with sons and families holding hands. Noah started talking, sharing stories of his dreams. Alex noticed. One evening, as I tucked the children in, he lingered in the doorway. "They haven't sounded this happy in years," he said softly, a faint smile breaking through his guarded expression. We began talking more, over tea in the kitchen after the kids slept. He shared fragments of his grief. how guilt consumed him for not being home that fateful night, how he feared failing as a father. I listened, offering no judgment, only quiet understanding. But not everyone approved. Victoria's older sister, Beatrice, visited unannounced one weekend. Elegant and sharp-tongued, she swept into the house like a storm. "Who is this girl playing house?" she demanded of Alex, eyeing me with disdain. Over dinner, she reminisced loudly about Victoria's perfect life, implying the marriage had been flawless and that no one could replace her. "The children need stability, not some young stranger overstepping," she hissed to me privately. "Alex is still mourning. He'll never love again. He's too broken." Her words stung, planting seeds of doubt. Was I fooling myself, imagining a connection? Yet the changes continued. One night, after a particularly joyful day picnicking by the lake, Noah tugged Alex's sleeve. "Daddy, why don't you laugh anymore? Ava makes us laugh. You should too." Alex's eyes welled up. He pulled both children into a tight embrace, his voice cracking. For the first time, the house echoed with genuine warmth, a family healing. Late that evening, Alex knocked on my door. Rain pattered against the windows as he stepped inside, vulnerable in a way I'd never seen. "Ava, you've brought us back to life. I was lost in darkness, but you've shown me light again." His hand brushed mine, then he leaned in, kissing me softly, tentatively. It was a kiss full of gratitude, longing, and unspoken promises. My heart raced. I kissed him back. The next morning, Beatrice cornered me in the hallway. "I saw that look between you two. You're nothing but an opportunist, chasing his wealth. Leave before you destroy what's left of my sister's family." Tears burned my eyes. Maybe she was right. I was just the help. Packing my bag that night, I prepared to leave at dawn. But Alex found me. "Don't go," he pleaded, taking my hands. "Beatrice is wrong. My marriage to Victoria, it wasn't the fairy tale everyone thinks. We grew apart long before the accident. I cared for her, but I wasn't in love anymore. With you, Ava, it's different. Real. I'm falling deeply in love with you. Stay. Be part of this family, not as a nanny, but as my partner, as a mother to Mia and Noah if you'll have us." I hesitated, then nodded, tears of joy replacing doubt. "Yes," I whispered, "more than anything." 8 months later, the manor buzzed with life. Laughter filled the halls daily. Mia and Noah called me Mom without prompting, their drawings now featuring all 4 of us under bright rainbows. Beatrice stopped visiting, unable to accept the happiness. We sealed Victoria's trunk respectfully, honoring her memory without letting it overshadow the present. Alex and I married quietly in the garden the following spring, with the children scattering petals. Love had blossomed in the unlikeliest soil, a grieving home thawed by kindness and patience. Sometimes, healing comes not from erasing the past, but from gently making room for a brighter future. Love, true and unexpected, can mend even the deepest cracks.